sectors of sports workers, men and women, sectors of fishermen, farmers, men and women, and 54 out of the 56 political parties duly credited before the National Electoral Council are forming the National Council of Sovereignty and Peace. That meeting, or those meetings that happened, also besides the looking for a constitution of a fundamental consensus, and a consensus that groups all of us, as it groups the national anthem, as it groups the national and the national flag in the effort for our homeland and the effort for the defense of what is ours, of what is Venezuelan, the defense of the peace. It is mainly the defense of what belongs to us as Venezuelan men and women. It is a defense of the sovereignty and the national independence. That process of meetings, that process of discussion conducted us to this meeting of today. In the confirmation of working missions in the international areas, in the judicial, political, and by your suggestion, it was also incorporated an economical task force, also as a way of defending the normalcy of the life in the Republic, because part of the strategies of attack against Venezuela are not only the aggressions and the lies, but also a strategy of trying to sell here and in the outside that Venezuela is under chaos. That is why there's so much surprise when foreigners come here and they see a country that is in peace, and it is the safest country in South America. They see a country with an economy that's moving forward, and especially they find themselves and they go in contact with one of our most valuable things, the joyful tone that is permanently exhibited by Venezuelan men and women wherever they are. Those working commissions that discussed in the states and the different sectors have found themselves here today, and they were divided in working tables. Mr. President, you who had the main initiative of the calling of this Council for Sovereignty and Peace, and of those discussions in the 4 working tables of the international, political, communicational, and economic, of those 4 tables of work came out over 30 activities that were or will be developed in the next few months, and in the face of an international meeting of jurors to discuss and defend the rights that are contained for the Venezuelan in our constitution, contained in the UN Charter and in the Human Rights Letter, and even in the encounter of parliamentary workers in the Caribbean, culture encounters where the common denominator is all of us are Venezuelan men and women. We are all in love with peace, and we were all set aside any difference or controversy to step forward in the defense of Venezuela. We want, in the first place, and before starting with some of the interventions and some rights to speak, we want to greet the people that are here today with us. In the first place, we have as a guest the citizen Nicolás Maduro Moros, the constitutional president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Venezuela. Her birthday is today, Cilia Maduro, the First Lady of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. We also have the Secretary of the Council of Peace and National Sovereignty, Deputy Pedro Infante, First Vice President of the National Assembly, Deputy Luis Eduardo Martinez, Vice President of the Commission of Dialogue, the Deputy America Perez, Second Vice President of the National Assembly, and the President of the Permanent Commission of External Politics, Sovereignty, and National Integrity, Timoteo Zambrano, Deputy as well. We also have the secretariats of the 24 states of the country in Caracas, and we have representatives of the foreign communities in Venezuela, the commercial and business sectors, universities, social historians, the youth, the fisher sectors, the sports sector, organizations and politics duly credited before the National Council, Electoral Council of Venezuela, and we also have workers of the Bolivarian Central of Workers in Venezuela, special guests, and communication media. And before going forward into some interventions of the representatives of the Secretary of the regions, I want to give to the constitutional president of the Republic, Nicolas Maduro Moros, the conclusions of the working tables and the action proposal for the next few months.
Seeing at this hour the security for sovereignty and peace at this moment